Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my drugstore essentials for oily skin. I have some foundations, some powders, blushes, a highlighter, a concealer to share with you guys. Just things that I think are really good for oily skin. I have oily skin and it's breakout prone and it's all of that fun stuff. So I just kind of wanted to do like a roundup of products. So if you go to the drugstore, you can look this video up and say, okay, I have oily skin. This is what I need in order to make my skin look really good throughout the day. So let's just go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start off with primer since that's kind of what we put on first. Stuff's like falling over here. But I love this mattifying primer from NYX. It's the Can't Stop, Won't Stop Matte Primer. You can find this at Ulta, and it is just the best. It's kind of a little bit sticky, so I would say press it into your skin. Don't actually really rub it. Just press it in, and it keeps you matte all day long, you guys. It is so good, and I just totally recommend this. I love it, and I think for oily skin, like I said, it just keeps you matte, and but it's not like one of those weird primers where when you put it on, it's like you can see it, you know, where it's like a different texture than your actual skin. It blends into the skin really nicely, and so I think it's a great drugstore primer, especially if you have oily skin and you need to mattify. This is amazing. Now, foundations, I do have three I want to share. So the first one I've talked about a lot recently here on my channel, and this is the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. This one feels really lightweight, but it's really full coverage, and it's really nice and like a natural finish. It's not super mattifying, but with this primer, this combo is so good because it does give you that matte yet natural type of finish. It doesn't look cakey and thick. And that's what I love about all of the foundations and powders and primers and everything I'm mentioning today is you're not going to look really thick and cakey, but you're still going to look matte and beautiful. So that is what this does, and you just feel nice because it doesn't feel like a really thick layer of foundation on your skin. So I absolutely love this, and the shade range on this one is really great as well. A couple other ones. So this one is from Maybelline, and this is the Superstay Full Coverage Liquid Foundation. So they came out with this back in January, and I would say this is a little bit more like dewy or a little bit more of a natural finish than the Makeup Revolution one. This one has a little bit more of like a shine factor to it, but it does offer really good coverage, and it's not like a dewy finish by any means. You know what I mean? And this one does come with a pump, which I really like. This one is like a doe foot, if you aren't familiar with it. It's kind of like that, like doe foot applicator type of thing. So just forgot to mention that, but this is really nice, like I said, just because it gives you a really nice natural finish. So maybe if you're someone who you are mainly oily, but you maybe have a few dry spots or things like that, this one would probably be a little bit more up your alley, but it is a really good full coverage foundation. And then the last one I want to talk about is a drugstore classic, you guys. This one has just stood the test of time, and it is the Revlon Colorstay makeup for combo to oily skin. I do wear the shade 150 Buff in this, and this does have a pump as well. And this one is so long wearing. I think out of all three of them, like this is the most long wearing, and then this one, and then the one from Maybelline. But this one I think is the most long wearing, and the one that like, it's just not it's not like super cakey full coverage, but it's also like not, I don't know, you can build it up and it looks really beautiful. Like all of these foundations are just, these are three of my favorite foundations. I have done a top 10 foundation video. If you're interested, I'll link it up in the cards for you. But this one is just like the drugstore classic, you know? Like you can just find this anywhere. It is so good. It just, like I said, it gives you a really nice coverage, but it doesn't look cakey and gross, and it does keep you matte, but it doesn't keep you looking like dry matte. It looks just really natural and really beautiful. So I love that one. Now for concealer, I have one that, now concealer is a little weird because I'm talking about concealer for up under the eyes. Now under the eyes can be dry even if you have oily skin, but for me, I take my concealer a little bit further down, like right here in the center of my face. And this one from Catrice, this is the Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. This one has really good coverage and it's a little more drying once you set it and everything like that, and you kind of blend it in. So that's why I chose it for this video, because it is a little bit more dry to where, like I said, it doesn't make you any more dewy or oily or anything like that. Like the one from Flower, the Light Illusion, I love that one, but it definitely gives you a more like dewy kind of natural-ish finish. And then the one from Too Faced, the new Born This Way concealer, that one also is a little bit more like satin and dewy, where this one is like straight up a matte concealer. So that's why I recommend this if you have oily skin, just because it will keep you really nice and matte under your eyes and like on your cheeks and stuff. I have two pressed powders that I feel are just really good for oily skin because they keep you matte for a really long time, and they actually help not break up your foundation. Sometimes I think with powders, they can, you know, set everything, but then they just don't really last a long time on the skin. You know what I mean? And I feel like these two really, really do. And so this one is the Milani Shine Proof Powder Conceal and Perfect. I've obviously hit major pan on this. This is like my second one. This makes your skin look so smooth, so flawless, so matte, yet just porcelain-like, like just smooth and beautiful. I love this one because it just makes my skin look so good. Even if I'm having like a bad skin day, this makes it look 10 times better. So you can't go wrong with that. And then the next one is from Maybelline, and this is the Better Skin powder. It's a skin transforming powder. This does have salicylic acid in it, so just wanted to throw that out there. I couldn't even tell you how many of these I have purchased, you guys. I keep this with me all the time. Like, it is always in my bag. And I don't have a puff in it right now, but I mean, major pan, I need to get a new one. I do have the shade in here in Porcelain. I'll link everything down below for you guys. But this one is so good because of the salicylic acid in it. It helps keep your skin dry, which sounds kind of weird, like you don't want your skin to be dry, but when you have oily skin, you want something to really make a barrier so the oils can't break through and break up your makeup. And that's what this does. That salicylic acid is a little bit drying, so it kind of helps keep your oils even more down, if you will. And it's really great if you're breakout prone. That's a great powder to use as well. But I think that this one makes your skin look smooth and soft and just like perfect, where this keeps your skin matte. So it's like, this one's a little bit more drying. This one keeps you matte, but also just smoother. This one is like matte amped a little bit, you know, like compared to this one is amped up a little. This keeps you even more matte. So kind of just depending on your level of oiliness, you can kind of pick either one. What I like to do actually is in the morning, I will take this one and set the entire face. Oh, I'm sorry if you heard my computer. And then I keep this one to touch up with throughout the day. And so that's kind of how I use these two powders, is this one is for touch-ups. This one is to set the whole face throughout the day or in the morning. Just kidding. Okay, moving on to, let's do blush. So really for blush, I don't have anything that is like particular to a brand or anything like that. I always just say go for a matte blush. I love shimmer blushes as well, more so like in this time of year into the winter because my oil isn't as crazy as it is in the summertime. But if you're someone who you do have really oily skin, go for a matte blush because it will help not make you look even more greasy. So I like a shimmer blush right when I put it on, of course, you know, but then as the day wears on and I get more oily, I just don't like it because it just looks extra shiny and like everything just looks a lot more shiny throughout the day. So go for a nice matte blush. A couple of my favorites are from LA Colors. These are like $3, super affordable. These are the Rad Rouge blushes. I've talked about these a ton here on my channel. I think they're amazing. I also really love the ones from Flower Beauty. This is the one I have on today. This is Peach Primrose. It's a beautiful like matte peachy blush. Also, the reason I picked these two particular like matte blushes, Flower Beauty and LA Colors, was because the staying power on these. These last a really long time on my oily skin. So if you're someone who you're like, I feel like I just get so oily and then my blush is gone, my bronzer's gone and all of that, these blushes will not be gone. They last on your cheeks for such a long time. It is amazing. I absolutely love these two brands. Now for highlight, I do want to mention something because I know that we all want to wear those really gleaming highlights, and yes, I love that look as well. But when you're getting ready for work in the morning or something and you have, you know, a long way to go, you don't want something that's like super shiny, because as you get oily throughout the day, it's kind of like with the blushes, it's just going to look worse. So I really recommend the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I think they've recently released newer shades of this, so I will link those down below as well. This is what I have on today, and it is just the most natural looking highlight. If you are familiar with YouTube videos, I'm sure you have heard this talked about a ton, because it just looks so nice and natural. And for oily skin, I love it because it gives you that glow without it being like overpowering and making you look more oily throughout the day and just gross. Like, this just helps make you look like healthy after you layer on all of these mattifying products. This helps you look just like healthy, but not like chunky, shimmery, glittery, like nothing like that. It just looks so nice and natural and just absolutely beautiful. And it also does last a long time on the skin, just like the blush does. So you don't feel like your skin just eats this up throughout the day either. So I love that from Essence. I do want to shout out a setting spray really quick. This is my favorite setting spray ever, and I think if you have oily skin especially, a setting spray is so good because it really does lock everything in if you find the right one. And the one from the drugstore that I think is the best for oily skin is from Milani. This one is completely empty. I need to repurchase this. I think this is like my third or fourth one of this. I repurchase this all the time, and it is the Make It Last setting spray. It smells so nice and fresh, which is a great bonus, but this also helps keep your makeup on and in place all day long, which is amazing. I think that for oily skin, you don't want something super mattifying and super like sticky, but you want something that's going to do the job. And that is what this does. It doesn't feel sticky. It doesn't feel like mattifying. You don't feel really like thick after you put it on, or what, you know, it just is good. And this reminds me a lot actually of the Urban Decay All Nighter spray, but in a drugstore form. So I love this so much. And what I love is like you can get these, buy one 50% off. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anyways, let's go on to, I want to talk a couple things for eyes. So sometimes oily skin means oily eyelids as well. So when you put eyeshadow on, it can get all creasy and gross throughout the day. We don't like that. So the eyeshadow primer that I recommend if you have really oily eyelids is from CoverGirl. And this is the Lid Lock-Up Eyeshadow Primer. This stuff is amazing. It is such a good eyeshadow primer, you guys. It is a little bit sticky, so I'm going to warn you there. It does come with just like a little doe foot applicator. I don't use a lot of this though. I just do like dot, dot, and then I just blend it in with my fingers, and I kind of let it sit there for a second before I start blending stuff on, just because it does get a little tacky. But because it is a little tacky, it will make your eyeshadow stay on like no one's business. It is amazing. And so if you have really oily eyelids, this is the best eyeshadow primer for you. It is so, so good. Okay, and then for actual eyeshadow, I was really thinking about this. I was like, okay, you know, powder eyeshadows, honestly, as long as you use this primer, it'll stay on. But if you're someone who you want a really good long wearing look and you have oily eyelids, you need these. The Color Tattoos from Maybelline. So I like the pot and I like the crayons. So it just kind of depends. I have the one on today, and that's in the pot, and this is Bad to the Bronze. So they have a lot of shades of these, and this one is just a metallic one. It is so beautiful, so easy for every day, and this will stay on your eyeballs. You are going to have to like use a makeup wipe, use a makeup remover to take it off. It will not crease. It will not smudge. Like once it's on there, it's locked and loaded and ready to go for the day. It is that good, you guys. So I love that. And honestly, the same thing with the crayons. I think the crayons might be just easier to put on. They are a little bit thinner than the pots. I will say the texture is a little bit different, but the staying power is the exact same for me. And I think the crayons have a little bit more like fun colors. For example, this one in Lilac Lust is a great like purple, kind of like a cool toned taupey purple, which is beautiful. And this one in Gray Crystal is a really cool like light grayish green shade. So I think the crayons might have like some more fun type of colors than the actual pots do, but they both last so long on the eyes. Like I said, you put them on and they are locked in there and they are ready to go for the entire day. So if you're someone that you really struggle with oily eyelids and you're like every eyeshadow just creases, or you're looking for a really good cream eyeshadow, definitely check those out. Alright guys, that is it for my oily skin essentials from the drugstore. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have oily skin and you love some of these products or just some other products in general, leave them in the comments down below so we can all learn about some new products for us oily skin girls. Or if you are dry skin and some of these products work for you, then please leave that down below as well so we can all kind of learn from each other. Thank you guys again so much for watching and for always commenting and just engaging with me. I love the community I have here on my channel and I'm just so thankful. So don't forget to subscribe if you're new here and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!